Demon recaptured by police. The police have confirmed the capture of Demar Williams, also known as Demon or Kai Kai, one of the 8 escapees from the Black River lockup in St. Elizabeth last year, June. The police said he is a known violent producer. They say Williams is identified as having close ties with the one other gang allegedly led by Fitzroy Matheson, as also known as Councelor. His apprehension marks a significant development in our ongoing efforts to combat organized crime and ensure public safety, the police said. The police say they are continuing their efforts to locate and apprehend the remaining escapees and dismantle criminal network. Tasty employee dead, JDF soldier injured after gun attack. A Tasty Limited factory worker is dead and a Jamaica Defense Force soldier injured following a gun attack at a restaurant branch in Crossroads, St. Andrew on Thursday. The deceased has been identified as 35-year-old Roland Saunders. The police said about 3:45 p.m. the employee was standing inside the business establishment after completing work when he was pounced upon by 2 men armed with handguns. The gunmen, the police reported, opened gunfire hitting him in the upper body. The soldier, who was a passerby and was also shot, the gunmen escaped in a waiting Nissan Sylphy motor car. Sawyer sustained gunshot wounds to the torso, neck, chest, and back, while the soldier was shot in the left leg. They were both rushed to hospital, where Saunders succumbed to his injuries and the soldier admitted. The police have since launched a search for the gunmen. Fire destroys classrooms at Port Royal Basic School. 2 classrooms and other sections of Port Royal Basic School were significantly damaged in a fire on Thursday. It is understood that sometime after 9 p.m., an eyewitness reportedly seen smoke rising from the building. An alert was made and the fire was extinguished. It's still unclear what started the blaze, which also destroyed electronics, furniture, and a refrigerator. Man gunned down in Bwalk. An investigation is underway into the murder of a man at Church Road, Bwalk in St. Catherine on Friday. The deceased has been identified as O'Neill Brown, otherwise called Old Dog, a 34-year-old laborer of Pineapple Lane, Bwalk. About 2 p.m., Brown was reportedly walking along the roadway when a car drove up and occupants fired shots, hitting him. Brown reportedly ran a short distance and collapsed and died from his injuries. No motive has been established in Brown's killing. The Bwalk police are investigating. He was my everything. As he watched a team of 7 doctors desperately try to save his father's life on Friday, Glimmer Pitney began to pray. I started to say, God, if it is your will, let it be done, and please help me. Make him stay alive. After all the doctors talking to us and I realized he didn't make it, the distraught man told reporters. Me can't find the words to explain. He was my everything, my mom and my dad. His father, 67-year-old market vendor Errol Marston Pitney, died from injuries received when the truck in which he and other vendors were traveling plunged about 100 feet into a precipice about 5 a.m. Friday. 6 others were injured. Even as they worried about relatives in need of medical care, family members made their way down to the steep incline and scrambled to recover some of the precious cargo from which they made their living. For many in the community, they knew at least one person on the truck that never made it to its destination. Former market vendor Donna Wellington was among friends of the deceased and injured who wept bitterly at the scene. The driver of the truck remains hospitalized, and she is particularly worried about him. Him is so good to us. Him get out in bed every morning 3 o'clock and carry us to Savannah Lamar Market, Wellington told reporters. I am so sad this morning. I was in my bed when I got the call, so I just rush out and get a taxi and come out. All of us travel on the bus. Everybody on the bus is my good friend, she said. Member of Parliament for Westmoreland Eastern Daniel Lawrence said most of the injured farmers are from Pinocchio, with 2 Petersfield schoolboys, Sahil McIntyre and Johnny Robinson, died in a crash last November. Robinson's mother said that they produced on the truck and was waiting to be picked up by the ill-fated vehicle and taken to market Friday morning. They are still not buried and know this. Just imagine what is going through the community, unimaginable loss. We are definitely feeling it, said the Member of Parliament. The entire Darliston area, even Jamaica, feels it, and it is really a great loss, he said. He has pledged to lobby for a retaining wall to be built, as residents have explained, that there are often traffic mishaps in the area where Friday morning's crash occurred. Anything misses that corner is gone over there, Lawrence said. Pitney's death brings to 7 the number of maids from the community who have died as a result of traffic crashes between last October and Friday. Councillor Jerome Bakash, PNP National Party Darlington Division, told reporters that the community is overburdened by these fatalities. It is not easy on the community, family nor myself, he said, clearly distraught. It is not easy to be having so many funerals back to back in this community. I pray that one day all of this will cease, the council lamented. While the council acknowledged an eyewitness's account that the truck appeared to be having mechanical difficulties before the crash, he also pointed to the role inadequate lighting could have played. I am appealing to the Jamaica Public Service to give us the street lights that they have promised us 4 years ago so we can light this thoroughfare from Darlington to Content, he urged. All that will likely be the little comfort to Glenn Pitney, whose grief over his father's death is made all the worse because he feels guilty. He told reporters that he has persuaded his father to postpone plans for a Christmas wedding to his mother. I told him to wait until Easter for the wedding, Glenroy said as he wept. According to police report, the crash was caused by a mechanical issue with the truck. Vending at Coronation Market prohibited next week to facilitate repair work. Vending will be prohibited at the Coronation Market next week, Monday, January 29, through to Thursday, February 1. The 4-day ban was announced by Minister of Local Government Desmond McKenzie while touring sections of the market. He explained that the ban will allow the National Water Commission and the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation to address the sewage problem plaguing the facility. Mr. McKenzie added that emergency work will begin soon.
We know that there's a serious sewage problem in downtown, especially in the market district. Following the tour with Minister Samuda this morning, some emergency work will commence to deal with a sewage problem that exists in sections of the Coronation Market. I have already advised the vendors who are in close proximity to the area, and we'll be putting out notices over the next couple of days that commencing Monday, right through until Thursday, no selling will be facilitated in this area so that the National Water Commission and the KSMAC can carry out the necessary works that are required to deal with the situation. I can only appeal to the vendors because they are the ones that are complaining and we are responding.
PAG-MAG want court to allow full coverage of Silvera murder case. Press Association of Jamaica PAG has called for an immediate reversal of the decision of the High Court judge to bar the media from the murder trial of former Member of Parliament Jordan Silvera. Media Association of Jamaica MAG also made a similar call on Friday. Justice Finnett Graham Allen on Thursday told reporters that no permission will be granted to cover the trial of Silvera, who has been charged with the murder of his wife Melissa. His family members were also barred. Silvera is due to return to court on February 8. According to the police, on November 10 last year, Melissa died in her sleep, but a postmortem later revealed the presence of bullet fragments in her body. In a statement, PAG called for an immediate reversal of the decision of the High Court judge unless there is a compelling explanation and justification. If that is the case, the public must be informed what this is, PAG said, noting that the principle of open justice is extremely important in Jamaica, where any member of the public should be freed to observe court proceedings except in exceptional circumstances. If noted, the high-profile nature of the murder case involving the former Member of Parliament, saying it is critical the proceedings be open to public scrutiny to help maintain confidence in the justice system in general and in the conduct of the case in particular. No reason has been given why this case should be an exception to the open justice principle. We see none. We believe that, in fact, this case is a prime example of one which must be carefully scrutinized by the media and the public. Call for an immediate reversal of this decision, stated PAG. At the same time, MAG expressed bewilderment of the media were barred to the high-profile case. It is very important that the public is afforded high transparency on this very public matter, with implications on public sentiments towards the tradition and governments of the country. A closed hearing will lead to speculation on the part of the public, which may do greater harm than whatever concern the judge has sought to mitigate, said MAG in a statement. the judiciary must always be mindful of its own often repeated adage, justice must not only be done, but it must also appear to be done. The MAJ believes in the integrity and robust caliber of the Jamaican judiciary system. Nevertheless, the MAJ is very concerned about the appearance of justice in this case, especially as it diverges from the normal practice into high-profile cases, added the media group. It called on the judiciary to reconsider or provide clear reasons for continuing to uphold this divergence from normal practice, saying the very unfortunate decision has grave press freedom implications to the country, especially given the case's high profile and connection to the country's governance. Court rules that motorists fined illegally for traffic offences are entitled to refund. The Constitutional Court handed down a landmark ruling that motorists illegally fined under the old road traffic legislation are entitled to a refund. The motorists had paid traffic fines which were illegally imposed under the original Road Traffic Act over a 15-year period ending in 2021. The ruling stemmed from a lawsuit filed by a software engineer, Maurice Hudson, after the police gave him a $5,000 speeding ticket violation in 2021. The fine should have been $800 based on the 1938 Road Traffic Act, which was not amended or repealed at the time of the ticket that it was issued to Hudson. Hudson, through his lawyers, argued that when he was ticketed, fixed penalties were not increased by legislation or the Minister of Transport as mandated by law. The claimant pointed out that the fines are increased by former Minister of Finance Omar Davis in 2006 and 2007 and that this change was illegal. The 1938 Road Traffic Act was repealed in 2018. The accompanying regulations were enacted last year, February. The Constitutional Court, in agreeing with the submission, ruled yesterday that the provisional collection of taxes under the Road Traffic Order of 2006 and 2007 are null and void and of no legal effect. A declaration was made by the court that motorists who had paid monies stated on traffic tickets issued between June 15, 2006 and November 3, 2021, which expedite the fixed penalty described in the Road Traffic Act of 1938, are entitled to refunds upon proof of payment. The court also ruled that the state should not be permitted to retain the proceeds of money if returned without lawful authority. It further ruled that Hudson's constitutional rights were breached and awarded him $250,000 in compensation. A further hearing into the matter is to take place in March. It's expected that the following submissions from the claimant and government respondents, the court will determine how the refund should be done. Meantime, the court told Hudson that his 21 days within which to pay the $800 fine that should have been imposed in the first place for the ticket issued for speeding. Meantime, Transport Minister Darrell Voss has indicated that the Attorney General will have to advise government how to treat with the court order refunded of illegal traffic fines paid by motorists. Mr. Voss noted that in 2006, the authority had raised the ticket fines. However, it was not done through the proper procedure, as it was directly done by then Finance Minister instead of going through a procedure in Parliament. This was the basis of the challenge which the court has accepted. Mr. Voss said the matter was ratified in 2021 when the challenge came to the fore. He said current enforcement should not pose a problem. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.